what a house or home or business property land healing and cleansing is, and what people would expect. How do we do it? Why do we do it? How do people benefit? What's the reasoning behind that? Because I was speaking to someone and they were jokingly like, all right, so you're going to be like Ghostbusters and go remove spirits out of their house or entities or whatever. And I'm
Right.
like, well, I mean, that's not unheard of as well. That is, I mean, I guess sometimes that is part of it, but it's far greater than that. So hopefully today, this live in this video will help you all kind of understand what that is, and why and how we do it.
Yes. I see Maria is in the chat. Yay. Hi, Maria. Love you.
Oh, love you, Maria. We missed you. It's been so long. Thanks, Louie, for hopping on here. I love y'all.
Yes.
Y'all the best. Woohoo. So,
Yeah.
where do you think we should start, S?
Well, it's starting, I think, with the why. Why should people get their land and their house or their business, or why should people do it? Why is it relevant? Why do we feel like we are attracted to land clearings? Because I know I am. So
Definitely.
I think that is what is on everybody's mind. Why is it relevant to me? Um, yeah.
Yeah. So I think the why, right? I don't think historically before becoming an energy healer, I really thought about what that meant or why it would be needed or necessary. And clearly, when we share our mountain lion story and not getting killed by a mountain lion, people kind of connect all the bigger dots. But I think at the beginning of our healing journey and when we connected, we were drawn to the land and to help healing ancestral wounds and the history of the land and things that go along with it. Also, I in the past I'd done a cleansing, a house cleansing and clearing, um, for a colleague of mine and who lives in the Midwest, and I did that remotely. And with that one, it was not even just shifting. She was back and forth, and then kind of I guess was getting resettled in this house, but she wanted to really shift the energy there and raise the vibration. And she kept thinking, like, a lot of things break here frequently. I just can't make sense of it. So what was really beautiful about that was not only were we able to shift the vibration and clean out any of that stagnant, heavier, denser energy that had just built up over time, but also received messages about some of the past or the history connected to the land. And I, as an intuitive, as you and I are, images would come up and messages, and she had had a lot of trauma on the land there, and there was a lot of particularities that made a lot of sense to her once we tapped into really what was going on with not just the house but also the land that it was on. um, so yeah, I think most people don't think about that. And do you ever, I don't know, do you ever just walk into a room and you're like, gosh, it feels amazing in here, right? Or gosh, this feels really heavy. This feels really dense, or it just feels like maybe sadness or depression or whatever. I think many times those are the reasons why people would want to get a land, property, business, or home clearing. Um, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love that. I think another reason why is just people, they want to feel good in their house, right? They want to know that they're coming home and there's good energy there, right? Like you said, in your story, it's like sometimes people feel uneasy walking into certain rooms, or they just have an eerie feeling. Maybe you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, what? And you just really can't put your finger on it. You can't explain it, but you're experiencing something. You're feeling something. And I do feel that's why people are drawn to land clearings. I mean, if it's your business, you want things to run smoothly, right?
Mhm.
So if you're aware that, we are affected by energies, past and present, in the structures around us and even under our feet, then, you're going to lean towards, doing a clearing in your house that you are now, or your apartment, um, or even, you're thinking ahead and you're moving somewhere and you want to bless the house, you want to cleanse the house before you're even walking into the house.
Yes.
So, I think it's really relevant. People just want like a stress-free environment. They want to know that the messages that are coming through, the energies that they're feeling are in their highest good, and then it's not making them feel uneasy or uncomfortable. We just want to feel good in our spaces. And a land and energy clearing is a perfect way to infuse that unconditional love, that acceptance, that understanding to whatever happened in the space, knowingly or unknowingly, it doesn't matter,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
So it's just that intention, just to, exchange and respect the, whatever had happened there in years past. And so, a future can be built with harmony and oneness and all of that. So that's
Yes,
what.
and beautiful. And I think too, right, you had mentioned about just the feeling and the energy, but also it's making sure that it's your energy, right? That it's your energy that's in the home. And, after a long, hard day of work or family or whatever, who doesn't want to make sure that all of that other energy, especially for those empaths or highly sensitive people out there, you're going to want to make sure that your energy is your own.
Yes.
I think for many of us, it's a hard and long journey, but one that can be done. So, and yeah, I really think that so important to just bless the home. We've had other healings. One in California I've done remotely, not in person, and they owned the house before, but they had rented it out for a long time. And so basically, her request was, can you just cleanse it, bless it, rejuvenate the energy, protect it? So that way, the other person who had lived there for 2 years, all of that was gone, right? And they could walk into a new, fresh, elevated space. And all of those clients, I think their testimonials speak volume to that they could come in and really feel like, "Oh, this is fresh. And even for people, I think too, is that what if you're selling your home, right? What if you're a business owner and you're a realtor? You ever think about those properties? You always see that for sale sign outside and like, dang, that house has been for sale forever, but no one seems to want to buy it, right? Sometimes people say,
Mm.
oh, it's price or, oh, but often the house feels heavy and dense, or maybe it just lacks love. Um, and those are the kind of houses and homes they would sell way quicker in the
Mm.
event that the property was cleansed and cleared, the home was healed and blessed and elevated. Um, and who doesn't want to, if you want to sell your house, right? And if you're a realtor, you're going to definitely want to sell the house.
Mhm.
And increase that turnover, and increase your bottom line.
Yeah, that's so beautiful because, I remember hearing something from, one of my readings is that if you leave the space that you are, you know, currently occupying, if you leave it with love, then you can move forward in your new space with that much more love and acceptance and, just prosperity moving forward, right? So you're leaving it behind, and then, it opens up a doorway that is even more, just more beautiful, um, and serene as you, progress on your journey wherever you're going. So yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. So Thank you for the why, because this is important. So let's move on to, what is a land clearing? What does it entail? I've done a few here in Bermuda. They've been beautiful, and it can be ranging from just blessing the land, and you can be very specific with intention, and the reason why you're clearing it if you're having a hard time or any issues. So, what do we use? What are land clearings, Brandy? Explain to us.
Great question. Before I answer that, do you mind? I'm going to just read Maria's comment. Maria said, I'm an ex-realtor. There was a house once that I showed and felt all that negative energy. This was in a former phase of my life. So that speaks volume to her understanding as a realtor the benefit of cleansing and clearing out any stagnant energy. Sometimes it doesn't have to be negative, but sometimes it does feel negative, or it feels heavier,
Yeah.
denser. So that's from the horse's mouth right there. And at least a beautiful testament. And Diaz, thank you. He says, this is so peaceful listening. I need more friends like y'all. Well, you're our soul brothers, so here we are. So the how do we do it, right?
No, the what? The what?
Oh,
We're not the how. What are land healings? What do they encompass? What do they, what is a land clearing? Is there even a definition? It could look different in every circumstance. We're using geometries, we're using different modalities. That's more of the how as well that you were saying. But what?
We'll do the how after what. So the what I think is more. Gosh, that's such an umbrella term in this circumstance. Because even while we were prepping for article, over here thinking about articles, the video titles and stuff, we had searched some different language around it, right? And there was many that just ran. It was similar and what have you. Sorry, my dogs are barking because the kids are home. Welcome to Mom Life. But yeah, so the what is like really broad and all-encompassing, but I think in essence, it's a healer will connect with a space, right? Whether if it's land, it could be an empty lot that you want to build a house on. It could be just land that you have that's attached to a larger property. It could be a home. It could be a business. Sometimes we even have people who heal Mother Earth. So it really is vast. And really, it is about shifting the energy of the area and the environment. It's kind of like the same way when we heal a human body, when we do healings and cleansings, right? We work on all the chakras. There's chakras for Mother Earth. So all of these are going to be interconnected. In the same way you get a tune-up and an oil change for your car, so that way it runs smooth, the same way you're going to do that for your body, and the same thing you're going to want to do for the space and the environment that you live in. Also knowing that your location, your geography, there's going to be different ley lines, which are energy grids that intersect with where you're living, that is going to impact your home, your space, your environment, your business. They're going to even intersect with you as a person. When we're I live in New York, right? You live in Bermuda. In New York, we're an entire crystal bed. Why do you think all New Yorkers are so amplified? You're in Bermuda, right? And one of the greatest, most powerful vortex and the planet, So of course they're going to be amplified. And I guess I'm sure divine timing that brought us together. But that impacts your land and your reality. Also, your socioeconomic status, your history, the history of the land. We understand that bloodshed in history was part of our history, predominantly anywhere in the world, right? That is part of that process. Cleaning and clearing that out, paying homage, giving love, respect, blessings, just forgiveness, and I think that's really what the home and property and land healings are. They're really just acknowledging the energies and the frequencies that we deal with every single day. So no, it's not just a spirit. It's not just, you have a ghost in your house or hanging out. It doesn't mean that that doesn't happen, because that really does happen.
Mhm.
Everything is energy. All that means is they are just in another form of energy, right?
Right.
Some people use the word entities. I've never liked that word because it makes me just feel, I don't know, creeped out. But either way, that's just energy. So, yes, could you cleanse your house if you feel that way? I mean, when I was young, we used to have a little boy who would run around the house in spirit form, sit at the end of my sister's bed, do silly things in the house. And this was over time. Everybody kind of understood, what it was, even though I wasn't even into this. I had hid my gifts for so long, so I wasn't even into that. But everybody was kind of aware. So, yeah, that's a part of it. But other times, it's just really reconnecting with the energy, fresh, giving it a tune up and refreshing it and embracing it as your own. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, energy and entities. I'm glad you brought that up, because entities are definitely, the talk of, the town when it comes to energy healing. How do you deal with these energies and entities? And I love the way that you talked about it's just kind of holding space for the energy to move, whatever it is. So the history of the land can definitely play a role in that. Whatever happened there, if there's any unresolved, energy that's there, once a space can be provided through an energy clearing, then those energies can finally be transmuted and move on, or just transformed into the next phase of whatever journey that they're on. So it's thank you for answering that, because it just resonated so beautifully, like yay.
Yeah.
All right, so that was a beautiful what. And the next question is where, where can we do these healings? I mean, you mentioned that I've done them in Bermuda, like we've done a few. I've done healings on, the whole of Bermuda. I've done specific property healings. You can even do them, remotely, sending energy across the world, just as a daily practice as well. So just like the what, it's just very encompassing of many, many things, many, many options. It just depends on your intention, and also the vibration of virtue. Where is your heart space and your intention and your energy behind the house clearing lie, right? It could be something very specific or broad, right? And I think that's a beautiful part of land healing as well. So yeah, any comments from you on the where?
I love that because you mentioned intention. And we find that with these types of healings and cleansing and clearings on lands and property, that it really, there's vast or variety of people's intentions. Some people want clarity if they are supposed to stay in a space. Some people just want some direction around what's going on or what the feelings are. So I think that is important that you mentioned that. So thanks so much. And the where, I mean, again, we work either in person or remotely. And I mean, we've done ones in Canada on huge ley lines there, um, throughout the Midwest, the West Coast, the East Coast. So really, the where is anywhere, anywhere that you are at. Like I said, you can even, there's people who pray daily. That's a form of intention for world healing and world peace. There's a beautiful colleague, a soul sister, Joey. She does forest healings and land healings and sea healings every single day.
Yeah.
every single day, like the most incredible, grounded Mother Earther you can meet.
We love
Um,
you,
yes, we love you, Joey. You're just the greatest. Um, and sometimes we're gonna walk into someone's local house and do it in our own community, and sometimes depending on who's being called in, we work with different high vibrational um, energies, different councils, different federations, and sometimes it'd be like, okay, do this house. So let me give you an example. We were in the Outer Banks, North Carolina, the first time we had ever been back there. Um, it was for my son's birthday, and that was the first place we ever took a full family vacation with my mom before she passed. So Brandon wanted to go back, Pop wanted to go back to Outer Banks. So that's what we did. So when we were there, it's a beautiful house, beautiful space, you're right near the ocean. Um, Outer Banks, South Carolina, and or is it North Carolina? I think it's North Carolina. But anyway, I'm in the hot tub, and then I get this nudge like, oh, you need to do a clearing and cleansing on this house. Okay. So then I'm doing that, and they were like, well, that's not big enough. Now you need to do it like 50-mile radius of this house. So I did. And then I got beautiful confirmation that that's what was needed and necessary. So the where is anywhere that you are. um, yeah.
Yeah. And that ties into the when too, right? I mean, you can do it anytime. You can wake up in the middle of the night and do a healing in your house or anywhere, right?
Yeah.
In regards to getting help, I mean, that's up to the practitioner to sync the schedule and make it happen. Um, but there's people out there that are, including us, that are willing and able to help. So if you're, going through something and you're struggling and, you don't really know who to turn to, and where to ask the questions, or even, you're a little bit weary of even talking about it, right? There is a space for you to enter into to find out more about clearing, the space that you're in and even the wider community. So, yeah, reach out if you have any questions, and we'll be happy to set up a consultation if that resonates with you. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So at the end of the when, who and what, how, who and how.
Well,
So
I guess
that's
for who in this
right.
scenario.
That ties in beautifully to, we are the Billionaires Triad. We do offer land clearing services, and we're both master sacred geometry healers, certified through Geo Love, Oliver Nino, the spiritual activator. And so that's how we would go in and intuitively use layered sacred geometries to clear, down into the land on the, particle atomic level, and then expand it out to, even the galactic level. So it just depends what the land calls for, what the intention is around it. I think every single land healing that we have done, there has been a positive outcome. Things have shifted rather quickly, within maybe a week and a half at most, right? Some people, they experience shifts almost right away. You're also cleansed through the process. Your aura is all included. So if you are being pulled to this kind of work, it's definitely, divine destiny, that you're watching this video, getting this information. So yeah, we encourage you to reach out. We'll leave a link in the comments below so you can contact us. And yeah, Brandy, do you want to add to the
No,
to
I think you
the
beautifully said who we are, um, and that we're very passionate about healing in general, um, training healers, creating even our own modality. We're on a mission, and to shift 1 billion souls. So this is part of it. I think that transitions us into the how, right? And we have Lauren Baker Weber that says, how do you do a proper healing on your home? So I think what we'll do is talk about how we do it. Um, and then we can wrap it up with giving you a few ideas and things that you can do for yourself. Um, because we do like to empower people to, you know, learn any type of energetic or spiritual practice that is going to serve them. We are just a vessel of divine energy. Source is the one who all of this comes through. We are just the vessels. So we'd love to support you in that. And thank you all so much for joining. Hi, Johanna. Hi, Sonia.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yes, you guys are amazing. So the how, Ash, I think you had mentioned we do use sacred geometry in varied combinations. For you who do not know what sacred geometry was, I didn't.
Right.
Sacred geometry is the language of God, and sacred geometry is everywhere and in everything. So we use that in specific ways to target different things. So sometimes you may not see us do anything. Many of my house and land clearings I will do when people are asleep and they won't even be aware of the process at all, and it'll be done, or I'll just text them, hey, it's done. So it's even if we did it in person, sometimes you may not see it. Looks like we're just standing there or we're just walking around. It doesn't mean that we're not specifically doing something. It's just a lot of times you have to use the power of visualization in your head, intention setting, and creating the specific sacred geometric patterns that we need to target whatever it is where they're working on. Also, we use intuition as a divine channel and a divine channel, an intuitive being. We also somehow bridge the gap into some medium work because sometimes that's happened where there has been other energies that haven't transitioned and they will communicate with us or send images. Sometimes it'll just be pictures or what have you to give us a little bit of more insight to share with whoever the land, home, or business owner is. Also, we use unconditional love supported in that. And I know that sounds a little cliche, but it really, love is the only thing that really exists, is the most powerful thing. Everything else that shows up for us is just contrast to help us see and realize what is. And a person who is a loving savage, I can tell you that I function on both ends of those spectrums. So the unconditional love piece is really, really powerful. And I think Ashley and I bring our whole hearts into everything that we do, um, with pure intention, just to help people and businesses and land and homes and ancestors have the greatest energetic resonance and experience and serve you it for the highest and greatest good of all. And we are all included in that highest and greatest good of all. Some people get annoyed with hearing us say that so much, but
Oh, like cultivating that respect, right? I think there's been so much happening throughout our recent history over the last 6,000 years that first and foremost is just instilling the respect back into the land, back into nature,
yeah.
back into the prime creator, to God, right? That's number one, definitely on my mind when I go into a land clearing, and bringing back peace, to the land instead of the turmoil and the conflict and the colonialism and all of those things in our recent past, which just needs some loving intention, no judgment.
Right.
Yeah.
The non-judgment. It's beautiful that you said that.
Yeah.
Because also I think that's a part of our other healing modality that we include with what we've learned through Oliver and Geo Love, but we also have our own the diamond codes. So it's 33 pillar, well, it's 11 pillars and 33 portals or energy sources that we tap into that kind of will show up, and it will help expand the healings, make them go deeper, create some awareness around things. So the diamond codes, I think, are also really important as another modality. Ashley does qigong, so she works with energy and shifts it differently. I am a student now. I need to start my second video. So thank you, my beautiful teacher. So yeah, there's a variety of modalities that we bring together. And, and sometimes I light a candle. That's my way to say, hey, spirit, I'm open. Opening portals may sound very Marvel-esque, superhero. But considering our Empress Ashley over here is a natural portal opener and sitting right in front of her beautiful portal.
There's one behind me. You can't see it, but
right.
Yeah.
But it's there. And so we do open different portals. And so the one reminder I will give you all too is we only function in love and light. Period. There is no exception. There's no exclusion. So know that you are always divinely protected. You're always divinely secure and guided when you work with us. So I just wanted to say that, because sometimes people be like, I don't want to open a portal. And, so all of that stuff is that we do, and we have been trained on how to work with it, and who, what, when, where, how, and why. So yeah. Anything else? I mean, how we do add other things, right? Like Palo Santo will, if we're doing it in person, sage,
crystals.
yeah, crystals, there's
Salt.
time. Yep, salts, definitely. Even sometimes I'll do lemon and limes. Like I encourage people to do lemon and lime baths. We may get a nudge to say, hey, put this at your front door. Oh, put the black tourmaline in your top left corner shelf, or make a crystal grid outside of your house, or what have. So there's a variety of tools and techniques that we use when it comes to how we do that. And yeah, anything else you want to add to that, Ash?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're looking to work with anybody, especially around these kinds of modalities, it's, you got to really look at where the person sits and how they live in virtue. Are they really living the practices that they're teaching? Every healer is on their own journey, same way, so no judgment, but discernment is key nowadays. So Brandy and I really focus on working on our personal virtues as healers, and bringing in, just the accountability and making sure our vibration is aligned with the higher vibrations of truth and justice and righteousness, honor, harmony, balance, oneness. These things I meditate on a regular basis, so then I can, be a better vessel, right, to serve as a living temple. So that is one of our biggest things with the Billionaires Triad. So yeah, that's just what I want to add, because I got to go pick up my kids.
Yes. So on that, 7 laws. And this is when you're a mompreneur, right? You're a mom and an entrepreneur and a wife. But yeah, and I think just wrapping it up, some other things, I have like moon water that's infused with sacred geometry that I will use in houses that you can get that from me. You can get that from any other place. To cleanse your own house, you can burn sage in each room, walk around. You can set the intention when you're walking through your front door. You can also get a variety of crystals, and you can look online which ones resonate with you, but you can message us if you want me to give you some specific ones for you. And the Palo Santo, you can burn the sticks around your house and kind of cleanse it that way. And also, just affirming that you're releasing any energy in the home that no longer serves you for the highest and greatest good of all, and you're replenishing it with divine love and light.
Yes. So join our community. We have a community of like minds, and we'll start a thread all about house and land clearings if you have any questions. And we'll
Yes.
drop the link down in the comments so you can check it out. You can join for free.
Beautiful. Thank you, Ash. Thank you all for joining us. You are amazing. And yes, please leave any questions or comments. Join our community for the Billionaires Triad. We love you all unconditionally, right? It's all connected. We're all connected.
We're all connected.
Love yous.
Peace and blessings.
Yes.